Good morning, myself Ravinder from BSc Chemistry Honours final year. Today is a topic of quantum mechanics, first of organic chemistry. Section 1 Introduction Classical Mechanics. Towards the end of 19th century, physicists were greatly satisfied that they were able to explain the most of phenomena on the basis of Newton's laws of motion and Maxwell electromagnetic wave theory. The former were used to explain the phenomena related to motion, example trajectories of planet, falling stones, etc., and were the later to explain the phenomena related to energy transfer. The branch of chemistry based on the Newton laws of motion and Maxwell electromagnetic wave theory to explain the phenomena related to motion and energy is called classical mechanics or Newtonian mechanics. Failure of classical mechanics. Classical mechanics was able to explain phenomena related to larger size object. However, it failed to explain small particles such as electrons, atoms, molecules, etc. For example, according to classical mechanics, it should be possible to determine simultaneously the position and velocity of a moving particle, but this is contradicted by Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Similarly, classical mechanics assumes that the energy is emitted or absorbed continuously, where Planck quantum theory postulates assumes that the energy is emitted or absorbed not continuously but discontinuously in the form of packets of energy called quanta. Further, the concept of quantum numbers was introduced arbitrarily to explain the atomic spectra. A few phenomena for which the classical mechanics fails to give a satisfactory explanation are: first one is black body radiation, second photoelectric effect, third heat capacities of solids, fourth atomic and molecular spectra. In a few sections we shall discuss how classical mechanics fail to explain the above phenomena and quantum mechanics give a satisfactory explanation. 1.2 Black body and black body radiation. When radiant energy falls on the surface of any body, a part of it is reflected, a part is absorbed, and the rest is transmitted. The whole of the energy is not absorbed because generally the surface of the ordinary bodies are not perfect absorbers of radiation. However, if radiant energy is allowed to fall on the blackened metallic surface or carbon black, it is found that the energy is almost completely absorbed. A body which completely absorbs or the radiant energy falling on it is called a perfectly black body. The absorption is found to be more perfect if we take a hollow sphere blackened on the inside and having a small hole for entry of radiation. This is so because any radiation that enters through the hole is reflected over and again by the walls of sphere till finally it is completely absorbed. The most commonly used black body is one designated by Faraday is shown in figure 1.1. It is hollow double-walled metallic sphere having a conical projection P opposite to the wall H and is coated on the inside with lamp black. The projection helps to avoid any direct reflection as otherwise the body will not act as black body. Further, a black body is not only a perfect absorber of radiant energy but is also a perfect radiator. In fact, of all the bodies, the black body radiates the maximum amount of energy for the given temperature. The radiation thus emitted are called black body radiation. 1.3 Kirchhoff's law. Though a black body is a perfect absorber as well as a perfect radiator of energy, all other bodies also absorb the radiant energy falling on them as well as emit it. The relation between energy absorbed and energy emitted by a body may be obtained quantitatively on the basis of simple experiment as follows. Take a hollow enclosure E. Suppose the walls of this enclosure have been imparted a uniform temperature and then thermally insulated to keep the temperature constant. Now suppose one black ball B and one white ball W are suspended in the enclosure with the help of insulating thread as shown in figure. In beginning, the whole space inside the enclosure is filled with the radiation emitted by the walls. Further, the walls of the enclosure are continuously emitting as well as absorbing radiation. As the balls can also absorb as well as emit radiation, it is found that the balls also acquires the temperature of enclosure, which remain constant so long as the temperature of the enclosure is kept constant. Now the question arises, why the temperature of both balls is same in spite of fact that the black ball is good absorber. Evidently, this is due to the fact that the black ball must be a good radiator too. Thus, we conclude that the good absorber is a good radiator while a poor absorber is a poor radiator. The exact quantitative relationship between the energy absorbed and the energy emitted by a body was put forward by Kirchhoff in 1859. It is called Kirchhoff law, and it states as follows. At any temperature, the ratio of emissive power of a body to the absorptive power is constant independent of nature of the surface and is equal to the emissive power of a perfectly black body. A uniformly heated enclosure is called holoderum. It may be noted that at a given temperature, if the radiating power of a black body surface is taken as 100, that of a polished surface is a little as 8. The substance like glass or polished metal which absorb a very little are also found to emit very little radiation. The term emissive power or emittance implies the energy emitted by the surface per unit time per unit area, whereas the term absorptive power or absorbance or absorptivity is the fraction of the incident energy absorbed by the surface per unit time per unit area. Thus, if Es and As represent the emissive power and absorptive power of a substance, and Eb represent the emissive power of the perfectly black body, then according to Kirchhoff's law, Es by As is equal to E by Eb. Es by As is equal to Eb. Proof of Kirchhoff's law. Kirchhoff's law can be derived in simplified manner as follows. Suppose Q is the amount of radiation incident per unit area per unit second on a body. If As is the absorptive power of the surface, then the amount of radiation absorbed by the body per unit area per second As into Q. If Es represents the emissive power of the surface, then the amount of radiation emitted by the surface per unit area per second is equal to Es. When the body is in thermal equilibrium with the enclosure, amount of radiation emitted by the surface per unit area per second is equal to amount of radiation absorbed by the body per unit area per second. Thus, Es is equal to As into Q. For a perfectly black body, As is equal to Ab is equal to 1, and Es may be replaced by Eb, where Ab and Eb represent the absorptive power and emissive power of a perfectly black body. Thus, we have Eb is equal to Q. From equation first and second, Es is equal to As into Eb, or Es by As is equal to Eb. As Eb is constant, the equation third gives the expression for Kirchhoff's law. Spectral distribution of black body radiation. With increase in temperature, the energy radiated per unit area per unit time from any surface increase rapidly, and simultaneously the color change from dull red through cherry red and orange up to a bright white heat. Further, it is observed that at the same temperature the rate of energy emission is much less for a bright metal like platinum than for a dull black surface such as a incandescent carbon filament. On the basis of experimental studies, Stephen in 1879 showed that the total amount of energy radiated by a perfectly body per unit area per unit time is directly proportional to the fourth power of its absolute temperature, such that E is directly proportional to T power 4, or E is equal to alpha T power 4, where Alpha is a universal constant called Stephen constant. Its value is 5.6697 into 10 raised to power minus 5. If energy is expressed in CGS time in second and area in square centimeter. The above statement is called Stephen fourth power law or Stephen Boltzmann fourth power law, as the theoretical proof of this law was given by Boltzmann by applying the laws of thermodynamics. The energy emitted by a black body at any temperature does not consist of a single frequency, and it is also not uniformly distributed along the spectrum. Lummer and Pringsarming in 1899 studied experimentally the distribution of energy among different wavelengths. The black body spectrum are as follows. The black body radiation were obtained by heating a carbon tube electrically after passing through the slit S1. They were made parallel with the help of a concave reflector mirror M1 and then allowed to fall on the fluorspar prism to get the spectrum. The radiation after refraction through the prism were focused by another concave mirror M2 and slit S2 on to a linear bolometer as shown in figure. By gradually rotating the prism, the radiation corresponding to different wavelengths were focused onto the bolometer one by one and their intensity measured by keeping the carbon tube at a different temperature. The number of observations were taken between 621 Kelvin to 1646 Kelvin. The curves were then plotted between the monochromatic emittance E lambda along the ordinate and the wavelength along the abscissa for each of the temperature. These curves are shown in figure 1.4 on the next page. Each curve represents the variation of committance E lambda with the wavelength lambda at the temperature of the source. Result. Some important results observed from the curves given in figure 1.4 as follows. First one is at a particular temperature the distribution of energy is not uniform among the various wavelengths of the radiation emitted by the black body. Bolometer is an extremely sensitive instrument for measuring heat radiation. It consists essentially of two very thin blackened platinum grating forming two arms of Wheatstone bridge circuit. Radiant heat falling on one of the grating raises its electrical resistance, thus causing a deflection of the needle of a galvanometer circuit. Second point, for each temperature there is a wavelength lambda m at which the energy radiated is maximum Em. Third, with increase in temperature the maximum shifts higher but towards lower wavelength. This means that with increase in temperature Em increase but the corresponding lambda m decrease. Fourth, higher the temperature more pronounced is the maximum. Fifth, the area under the curve for a particular temperature gives the total energy emitted by the black body per unit area per second for the complete spectrum such that corresponding to all the wavelength at that particular temperature. Sixth, the area under the curve increase with increase of temperature and is found that the area is proportional to the fourth power of absolute temperature, as the area under the curve represents the total energy emitted by the black body per unit area per second. Hence EB directly proportional to T of power 4. This is Stephen Boltzmann law. From the curves it is found that psi m T1 is equal to lambda m2 T2 is equal to lambda m3 T3 up to lambda mt is equal to constant. Hence lambda is directly proportional to 1 by T. Thus the wavelength lambda m for which the emittance of a black body is maximum is universally proportional to its absolute temperature. This is called Wien displacement law. This law is able to explain why the color of visible light radiation changes from red to yellow as the temperature of hot body is increased. Explanation of spectral distribution on the basis of classical mechanics. To explain the nature of the spectral distribution curves of the black body radiation, classical mechanics using Maxwell electromagnetic wave theory was applied. According to this theory, the source of radiant energy are vibrating particles called oscillators, and these oscillators could radiate or absorb any amount of energy. The frequency of energy emitted is equal to frequency of oscillator. Based on these classical concept, Wilson in 1896 and Lord Rayleigh and Jins in 19,000 tried to explain the distribution of black body radiation using the classical concept of the continuous emission of radiation. Wien equation was able to explain the distribution only at low wavelength, whereas Rayleigh-Jeans equation was able to do so at high wavelength also. However, neither of two was able to explain the complete distribution of black body radiation. Wien radiation law equation is E lambda is equal to 8 pi hc divided by lambda cube into e of power hc divided by kt lambda. Rayleigh-Jeans radiation equation is A lambda is equal to 8 pi divided by lambda 4 into kt, where E lambda is ms power of the black body corresponding to wavelength lambda, c is velocity of light, h is Planck constant, k is Boltzmann constant, and T is the absolute temperature. 1.6 Planck radiation law. To solve the above problem, Max Planck in 19,000 put forward a bold assumption that the oscillator of a black body radiation cannot have any amount of energy but can have a discrete amount of energy depending upon the frequency of oscillator. Planck thus supposed up this result as under: energy is emitted or absorbed not continuously but discontinuously in the form of packets of energy called quanta. The energy of each quanta is given by the radiation E is equal to h mu, where V is the frequency of radiation and h is the Planck constant. Thus, the total energy emitted or absorbed is either unit quantum such that h mu or a whole number multiple of h mu is equal to nh mu. Based on these concept, Planck deduced expression for the energy E lambda radiated by a black body at wavelength lambda, which is under E lambda is equal to 8 pi hc divided by lambda 5 into 1 by E of power hc divided by kt lambda minus 1. This expression is called Planck's radiation law. The significance of different symbols is in equation first second of section 1.5. It can be seen that both Wien law as well as Rayleigh-Jeans law are simply particular cases of Planck radiation law. First point, if lambda t is small, e of power hc by kt lambda is greater than 1, so that 1 is a denominator in above equation can be neglected. This gives E lambda is equal to 8 pi hc divided by lambda 5 into e of power minus hc divided by kt lambda, which is a Wien law. If lambda t is large or e of power hc kt lambda may be expanded by exponential theorem. E of power hc divided by kt lambda is equal to 1 plus hc divided by kt lambda plus up to, so that Planck radiation law equation reduces to form E lambda is equal to 8 pi hc divided by lambda 5 into kt lambda divided by hc is equal to 8 pi divided by lambda 4 in dot kt, which is Rayleigh-Jeans law. Derivation of Planck photoelectric effect. 1.7 Photoelectric effect. When a beam of light with frequency equal to or greater than a particular value is allowed to strike the surface of a metal, electrons are ejected instantaneously from the surface of the metals. This effect is called photoelectric effect. Some of the important observations about the photoelectric effect are as follows. First, the electrons are ejected only if the frequency of the incident light is equal or greater than the minimum value called threshold frequency. Second, the electrons are ejected instantaneously such that there is no time interval between hitting of the metal surface by the light and emission of the electrons. Third is the kinetic energy of the emitted electrons depend upon the frequency of incident light. Fourth point, the number of electrons emitted is proportional to the intensity of the incident light. According to the classical theory, the energy of light depends upon its intensity. Thus, if the surface of the metal is exposed continuously to light of any frequency, the electrons should keep on gaining energy, and ultimately the energy should become so high that the electrons should have the metal atom, but actually this does not happen. However, Einstein explained different observation about photoelectric effect by applying Planck quantum theory. According to this theory, each quantum of light is called photon and has energy equal to h mu is used for bringing about ionization, and the remaining energy is converted into the kinetic energy of the electron. The quantity h mu naught is called work function and is equal to ionization of energy of metal atom such that h mu is equal to h mu naught plus 1 by mv square. Evidently, the frequency of the incident light is a threshold value, and electron will be emitted without any kinetic energy. Further, the intensity of light